All right, everyone, welcome to the 187th District Court. Today is Monday. It's a Monday, but let's not make it feel like a Monday. Let's make it feel like a Friday. So everybody put some patience in your pocket. These are the rules of the 187th District Court. You are in the 187th District Court, no matter where you are. If you're an inmate, you're in the 187th. If you're at your home, you're in the 187th. So everyone who's at their house, one, you need to find a location where there's not a lot of noise going on. And also don't move around, because when you move around, that makes everybody nauseous and makes it hard for the court reporter to hear. To all the inmates, this is what's going to happen. One, you are not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back to your cell. This is not the Bachelorette or the Bachelor. You're not allowed to pick up dates here. So you will get a chance to speak with your attorney. I'm going to call the attorney's names. For attorneys, that's the order in which you will appear. If for any reason you do not hear your attorney's name, that means that your attorney is probably Zooming in another court, but rest assured you will have a chance to speak with your attorney. To all the attorneys, please do not text, email, or instant message the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. Do not ask her for a reset or a continuance. I'm the only person who can give you that. If you see that your name is low on the list and you wish to Zoom to another court, you're more than welcome to do so. However, if you're out Zooming in another court and we call your name, you will be skipped over. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open up the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and send you to a breakout room. To all attorneys, if you have an agreement, no matter how small the agreement is with the state, you need to send that agreement in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed on the screen as Ferguson coordinator. She will need to get your paperwork. If your client is on bond and you have an agreement, she will need your client's email address. This is the order of attorneys: Matthew Brown, Milton Butler, Pat Hancock, Teresa Conley, Andrew Loxam, Doug Campbell, Raymundo Alamon, Ronald Ortman, and Jocelyn Andrews. Is there any attorney's name that I have missed? All right, then the first person up is Matthew Brown. Matthew Brown, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Andrew Pena and Sarah Ramirez today. And for Pena, it's just the status update. He was supposed to be assigned to drug court.
Okay, Andrew Pena, and who else?
Sarah Ramirez.
And Sarah Ramirez, is that Family Violence and Criminal Trial Division?
Criminal Trial Division.
All right, I'll see you in breakout room number 1. Everyone, when I send you to a breakout room, prosecutors will meet you there. They have the ability to move throughout breakout rooms. Think of the breakout room as when you go to a doctor's office. You think you're seeing the doctor when the nurse calls you back, but they're just checking your blood pressure and weight. If you leave the breakout room, the prosecutors will note that the breakout room is empty and they'll just skip over you and go to the next attorney. So everyone put some patience in your pocket, pull it out as needed. Mr. Brown, I'm sending you to breakout room number 1. Milton Butler.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Aubrey Reed. He's got 2 MTRs, 2020 CR 8357A and 2020 CR 8538. He's an
Those
inmate.
criminal trial division cases?
I believe so.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2. 187 Santoya, you need to show your video. Norman, can you let them know that Santoya's video is black? Thank you. Pat Hancock.
Judge, good morning. I'm present. We were invited to this docket on a bond violation for Alexis Jones.
All right, what's she charged with? Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It's, I believe it would be family violence, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3 to speak with the prosecutor about the violation. Just give me one moment.
Thank you.
Teresa Conley.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on Criminal Trial Division motion to revoke Priscilla Lugo. She's on the screen.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andrew Lotsam.
Yes, ma'am. I have Thomas Tyke at forgery.
Thomas who?
Tyke, T-Y-K.
Is that forgery? Is that family violence or criminal trial division or special crimes?
I assume it's criminal trial division. Forged check.
Okay, I say that because I see that Freddie's here.
Amongst the inmates, everyone in the facility shall wear the PPE mask at all times.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Yes.
Cleaning supplies shall be refilled and ready for inmate use. Before you open
Doug Campbell.
Judge, I got Mr. Santoya. It's an MTR with, it looks like family violence.
All right, what's the first name?
Uh,
I'm sorry, what?
Eloy, E-L-O-Y. And if I could have an opportunity to talk to my client, that'd be fantastic.
All right, would you like to speak to your client before or after prosecutor?
I think before, if that's okay.
All right, sure. I'll send you
Thanks,
to
sir.
breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
And is your client in custody?
He is, he's the 187 Santoya who now has his video on.
All right, Mr. Santoya, if you go to breakout room number 6, your attorney will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Raimundo Alamon.
Yes, Judge, I'm here on Vincent Ventura, his MPR Criminal Trial Division. He should be there on Zoom.
I'll send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ronald Ortman. Ronald Ortman. Ronald Ortman.
His audio is connecting, I think.
Ronald Ortman, are you there?
I am, yes. It dropped the connection for a second. I'm here with Ross Cuco, and we just have a motion for an increase in our investigators' budget. That's it.
All right, just give me a second. I'll speak with you. Jocelyn Andrews.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I have Jahagan Alexander. It's family violence. I last conferred with Joe Ray. I need to confer some more, please.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Chris Simpkins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, who do you have?
Deborah Lund.
And that's the one with Freddie Ramirez, correct?
That's with me,
Yes,
Judge,
Judge.
yes.
All right, so my understanding, you guys want a jury trial?
Yes, we were trying to get a copy of a photo.
All right, has the photo been given?
I have not gotten it yet.
The state,
All right.
it's not in our possession, Judge, at the moment.
Okay, where is this photo? Who has it?
Well, one, we're assuming that the photo still exists. It's a digital image of the photo in question. We have given them a hard copy.
I haven't gotten a hard copy.
It's the actual digital copy.
I have not received a hard copy.
All right, I'm going to send you guys to a breakout room number 9 to discuss what you have and don't have. And this is going to be solved before the week is out.
Yes,
So
Judge.
I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 9.
Okay.
Norman, can I see you to breakout room number 10, please? And everyone, just give me a moment. And Mr. Ortman, if you can go to 10. All right, anyone else rec from the breakout room?
I'm still waiting for to hook up with my attorney. It's
Yeah,
apparently
no,
Joe.
as soon as your attorney comes here, you'll get a chance to speak with your attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, this is Vincent Ventura. I don't know if I'm supposed to go to a breakout room with my
No,
attorney.
you're not.
Okay, sorry about that.
Just wait. James Toshi? Okay. All right, and Norma, is Mr. Kukok on the screen yet?
Let me find out, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry. Judge, I'm sorry. I just needed to attach my microphone so you could hear me. So I'm here now.
All right, who do you have?
I have a violation hearing on Thomas Spencer.
All right, is your client criminal trial division?
Yes, ma'am. It's a DWI.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10, and a prosecutor will speak to you in regards to the violation report.
All right, Judge.
Anyone back from the breakout room?
Yeah, right, Judge. I am with Chris Simpkins.
All right, I'm going to take up the Chris Simpkins matter, then I'll take up Mr. Butler and then Ms. Conley.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, just 1 second. Someone's, yeah, there we go. All right, what is happening with Simpkins?
So obviously there was some miscommunication. Mr. Simpkins and I met about a couple months ago to go over discovery. And I thought at that time we gave him possession of a colored copy of the photo. Apparently that didn't happen. So either way, I told him I would drop it off at his office by Thursday of this week.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Lon, Ms. Lon?
Yes, ma'am.
Recall that for Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
And this will be the last discovery hearing we will have. If we have another discovery hearing, then everyone needs to be prepared to subpoena whatever witnesses they want to subpoena.
Okay. Yes, Judge. Maybe excuse.
Just one moment.
Now I need to give Ms. Lund a reset letter.
Yes. So see you back on April 30th at 9 a.m.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Butler.
Yes, Your Honor. We have an agreement on Aubrey Reed on the MTRs.
All right, if you'll put that in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson so she can get the appropriate paperwork to your client.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, and then the next person, Teresa Conley.
Alexandra and I have been discussing her situation. We think we need a breakout with you, if we could.
All right, just give me a moment and I'll go in a breakout room with you all.
Thank you.
And Teresa, I can do a chat.
All right, Doug Campbell.
Judge, could I talk to one of the prosecutors from family violence?
Yes. All right, could a prosecutor from family violence go to breakout room number 6? If you'll go back to 6, they'll meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Matthew Brown.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Morris and I had an opportunity to discuss Sarah Ramirez. This case, Ms. Ramirez also has a case in County Court 15, and we have a scheduled docket date for tomorrow. That case is likely going to be contested, which really is the basis for our present situation in your court. So I was going to ask for a recess so that we could do two things, is to let that proceeding go forward, and then we can come back and hopefully address this issue.
Who was the prosecutor you're conferring with?
Mr. Morris.
Yeah, it was me.
Like, so what's happening?
So Ms. Ramirez is on felony theft probation, and she picked up a new number 1 that is a theft enhanced. And the attorney advised that perhaps the video has some exculpatory information as compared to the report. So I'm about to call Walmart right now to get my hands on that video. There's a setting tomorrow and 14 on that misdemeanor. So we're just asking for a little time to see if there's merit to this new number 1, because if there is, that changes what we're looking at on the felony deferred.
Well, what are we doing with, according to this, there's an allegation that she owes $55,000 and she's only remitted $1,400 and she's been on deferred since 2017.
Yes,
And I'm assuming that $55,000 is restitution.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So I think there should be some sort of, I'm not taking it as true, but I think there needs to be some discussion on that.
yes, we did discuss that. And I believe Mr. Brown has discussed this previously with, Jordan Brown has discussed this previously with Mr. Matthew Brown.
That's correct.
All right, let me see you all in a breakout room. So, Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
If you'll go back to breakout room number 1, please. And Hunter, if you go to breakout room number 1, everyone just give me a moment. Ah, he did make it.
Because, for slapping shit up in the corner back there. But all that stuff's gone. There's a nice pile outside.
You
I'm
want
gonna
to?
make eggs and bacon a little bit, and I'm gonna slowly work on the other shed. But the other shed, telling you, everything in there are all those big containers full of papers and books.
Teresa, did you see my chat?
I didn't look, just a minute. Probation is asking for ISF. That might, fine. I would agree.
Okay, when the judge comes back, if you can go in a breakout room with your client.
Alexandra,
Yes.
go back to the breakout room.
No, when the judge comes back, you can ask to have your client put in the breakout room with you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. When she gets back to
When the
us,
judge gets back, she can move your client to the breakout room so that you guys can talk about
thank you, but we're gonna talk with the judge first.
if you want to, yes.
I'd like her to be aware of what's going on because I know they pled her when she was found competent, but
Okay, no, that's fine. We'll do that.
thank you.
All right, Teresa Conley
Yes, Your Honor.
and Miss
Alexandra,
needed to see me in a breakout room.
with you, if you don't mind, Your Honor. Apparently probation's in on this too now, so
All right, if you go to breakout room number 4, I'll meet you in breakout room number 4.
thank you.
Christine McDonald, who do you have?
Leticia Benavides, Your Honor, if I can be put on in a breakout room with her when you have a chance.
And is her criminal trial division or family violence?
It is family violence.
And do you want to speak to a prosecutor first or speak to your client first?
It's criminal trial. I apologize, Your Honor. Can I speak to my client first?
Sure. Let me just find a breakout room for you.
Okay, thank you.
Is your client in custody?
No, I saw her on the screen.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 11. All right, everyone, just give me a moment and I will be right back. All right, Milton Butler, you have an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Pat Hancock?
Judge, I confirmed with David Martin, so I don't know if you want us to report back on that.
Yes, let me see if I have the violation. Norma, do you have the violation report on Alex Jones? Because sorry, Alexis Jones, because I don't have it.
Let me check.
Thank you.
Eloy Santoya, if you can go to room 6, your attorney's in there waiting for.
Yes, Judge, I'll print it out.
All right, thank you, Norma. All right, just give me a moment on that, Mr. Hancock.
No worries, Judge. Thank you.
Raymundo Alamon, you're back.
Yes, Judge.
There you go.
Yes,
Yes, what is
Judge, can you
happening
hear
with
me?
your client?
Yes, I spoke to my client and with the prosecutor. But I would like to speak to the prosecutor for about 10 seconds just now, and then we'll come back to you and we should be
All
ready to
right,
go.
someone from the state, could you go to breakout room number 9, please, on Vincent Ventura? It's criminal trial division, motion to revoke.
Oh, thank you right there.
Thank you. Oh, no problem.
I sent it to David Martin and Pat Hancock should have it.
Okay. All right, so David Martin, Pat Hancock, I have the violation report.
Dave, are you there?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we have a violation of bond protective order. And is the complainant in that case the same complainant in the aggravated assault?
It is, Judge. There's some kind of quirky circumstances with it, and we're going to have to contact him. The only problem is the day of her arrest, he was also arrested for a aggravated robbery warrant. So I don't know. He doesn't have an attorney on that yet, so I'm not sure exactly when we'll be able to have contact with him. But based on the previous contact we've had with him, I guess pending our discussion with him, I mean, if we just keep the status quo and keep her on the same conditions with no contact, I think that would be okay for now.
Judge, my client's 6 months pregnant. I told David, I don't think she has much energy to deal with this man right now, and it's certainly not something she can do. It would be a violation of her bond. I'd suggested to David that we just, he can try to get a hold of the complainant. I will certainly talk to my client, and I know she's present on the screen, just to reiterate, under no circumstances to have contact. Her position is, Judge, that he initiated the contact, and she's afraid of him because he drinks and he's violent. So I can just tell her to pick up the police. I think she called the police on this instant, but they found out she had a protective order and she was in his presence, or he had fled her presence, I think. So they booked her on it. So you guys have probably more information on that than I do.
Okay, well, here's the thing, Ms. Jones. I don't know the facts of this violation of bond protective order because I wasn't there and I don't have a police report. But what I do know is you're charged with aggravated assault with deadly weapon. I don't take any of this to be true because I have not received anything. But you're charged with that. The complainant in that case is alleged to be this Mr. Bass person. And now you have a violation of bond or protective order with Mr. Bass. So I'm telling you right now, I'll follow the agreement that's been reached by the parties to continue, but you are not to have contact with him. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have contact with him after today, and when I say after today, after 9:41 a.m., because it's 9:41 a.m., I'm going to get another violation report. We're not going to be having this hearing where I bring your attorney in and the state in so that you can understand that you're not to have contact with him. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else, I'll continue with the
Thank you,
same
Judge.
conditions.
Thank you, David. I'll talk to her, Your Honor. Thank you. May we be excused, ma'am?
Yes, you're excused.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else ready?
Your Honor, this is Jocelyn. I've been in the meeting room, but I haven't had, nobody's joined me.
All right, could someone from Family Violence please go to breakout room number 8? Family Violence, breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
Judge,
Oh,
I've
yes.
talked with my client. I've talked to David Martin. My client would like to take ISF. He'd like to plead true.
Oh, okay. You need to send that in the
Sorry.
chat box to Ms. Ferguson.
I did.
All right, then she'll send the paperwork to you and your client.
I just received it.
Anyone else who's ready?
Yes, Your Honor. If I could get in a breakout room with my client, please, Sarah Ramirez.
All right, Ms. Ramirez, if you go to breakout room number 1, please.
Judge,
James Toshi.
I'm back from a breakout room with Alexandra. I know you're headed to speak to someone in private. I too would like to speak to you in private, just based on some of the substance of what we need to discuss about my client.
Okay, is there someone else I'm supposed to speak to in private?
I thought you were going to a room with, I thought maybe Teresa Conley?
Oh, yes, we've
We're
already done
finished.
that.
We're
Yeah.
finished. Thank you.
That's why I was like, am I losing my steel trap mind? All right. So if
It
you'll
won't take
go
very long.
All right, if you'll go back to breakout room number 10, who's the prosecutor on Mr. Toshi's client, Thomas Spencer?
I am. I'll meet you there.
All right. So I'll see you in breakout room number 10.
Sounds good.
And then if I may, Judge, I'd like to get into a breakout with Mr. Cuco.
Did we unmute? Okay.
You said you needed me to stay?
Yeah, just real quick.
Norma, I sent you a chat.
All right, everyone, I'm just checking my email to see if I received anything. And I have not. Has anybody sent any?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see. What's the holdup?
Yes, Your Honor, I still need to go over the paperwork with my client, Mr. Aubrey Reed. So
Okay, Mr. Reed.
Yes.
Is Mr. Reed in custody?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Reed, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3 with your attorney. All right, and Doug Campbell, I'm going to send you to breakout room with Mr. Santoya. If you could go back to breakout room number 6, that's where your client is.
What am I doing in there, Judge?
I guess you have paperwork.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. Does he have it?
No, it would go to you first.
Okay, I haven't received it.
Okay. All right, everyone, just give me a second.
Dad, you can put him in a breakout room. It's on its.
All right. So I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your client.
I think
Paperwork
he's
is
still
on
in.
its way.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
I'm sending you all to breakout room number 4, Mr. Santoya. If you go to breakout room number 4, it should have popped up on your screen. Christine McDonald.
Yes, Judge. I've conferred with the state on Leticia Benavides. We were supposed to plea on a misdemeanor case on the 16th. However, that entire docket was reset, Judge, and I wasn't able to get her set last week. If we could just have one more setting, I will get this pled in the county court as soon as possible for a dismissal on this case.
Okay, just one moment. All right, can you call and find out when that will be set in the other court?
Yes, yes.
All right, and just let me know what date that will be.
Okay.
All right, Kevin Stryker.
Yes, Judge, I'm here on Mr. Christopher Riancy, Your Honor, and wanted to chat with probation and the court officer, CLO, at your convenience.
All right, it's criminal trial division.
Well, it's assault family violence, so it's probably going to be in the family violence division, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
could probation go to breakout room number 1, please?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Brown. What are we doing with Ms. Ramirez?
I need to speak with Mr. Morris one more time, Your Honor, sorry.
All right, Mr. Morris, I'm going to send you to breakout. If you'll go to breakout room number 2, please. Just one moment. Yeah, there he is. Raimundo Alamon.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is happening with Mr. Ventura?
Your Honor, Mr. Ventura is going to make a plea, and the probation officer
Okay,
and the prosecutor
here's the
are
thing.
both going to
No, time out. Just put it in the chat box. The court coordinator. What the agreement is.
I can figure out how to do that.
All right, could the prosecutor who's on Mr. Alamon's case?
Yes, they did put it in the chat box, but I need Mr. Ventura's email address.
Mr. Ventura. Let me see where he is. Do you have your client's email address?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you can give it to the court coordinator, please.
Vincent Ventura. Okay, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm going to just go to breakout room number 9 and ask him myself.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Got you already?
All right, I'm just waiting for documents. As soon as I have them, we will proceed. I've signed all the documents on Aubrey Reed, so I'm just waiting for the clerks to give that to me. And I've signed the documents on Santoya, so I'm waiting for the clerks to give that to me. Mr. Brown, what is happening with Miss Ramirez?
Your Honor, Mr. Morris and I came to an agreement and we're waiting for the coordinator to send paperwork to us.
Okay.
I just messaged Ms. Ferguson the agreement, Judge.
All right, thank you. And
Your Honor,
Mr. Ortman, Mr. Kuko should be here shortly.
I've already spoken with him.
He's not on the screen. Where did you speak with him at?
In the breakout room.
Ah, okay. Could you go back to breakout room number 12, have him come back to the main room, please? Ms. McDonald?
Yes, Judge. I called the coordinator. She's working from home. I spoke with the clerk. I let her know that I was trying to get a setting. They're going to call me back, Judge, but she said if I get 30 days, they should be able to do it before then.
What, 30 days? Which court is this?
13, Your Honor. Or 2 weeks, Judge. I can try to get it in 2 weeks.
Just give me a moment.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Kuko, could you unmute, please?
Yes, Your Honor. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing this fine Monday morning?
Well, I'm hanging in there, you know.
All right, Mr. Kuko, we've had the evaluation come back on you. So you've received the offer from your attorney. Are you accepting that offer or rejecting that offer?
I'm rejecting that offer now.
Okay. Mr. Ortman, have you received all the discovery in this case? You're muted, Mr. Ortman.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're waiting for the investigator to complete his investigation, and that's hung up. It's in abeyance right now. So
No, my question, no. When I say have you received all the discovery, have you received all the discovery from the state?
I don't know. I can't answer that question because I don't know what's out there. I don't know what they have. Our investigation's ongoing. We're not finished with it yet.
Norma, recall that Mr. Kuko for the second week in May and state, I'll need an acknowledgement of discovery by this date. What date will that be, Norma?
We can do the 14th of May.
All right, Mr. Kuko, we're going to come back on May 14th. At that time, state, I'll need an acknowledgement of discovery done.
Your Honor, thank you, and I appreciate you trying to speedily get this process going. I just want an opportunity to let the truth be told. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Kuko, they're going to take you back, but just remain there. Someone will come and remove you, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. God bless you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to leave now, if I may.
Yes, you're excused, Mr. Ortman. Thank you. All right, the parties on, who are the parties on Reed? Aubrey Reed.
Marcus Sanders and Milton Butler.
All right. Mr. Reed, I need you to unmute. And everyone, if you're not a part of this hearing, I'm going to need you to mute yourselves. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 8538 and 2020 CR 8537A, State of Texas versus Aubrey Rashawn Reed. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Milton Butler representing Aubrey Reed.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection.
Mr. Reed, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them?
Yes, ma'am.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. And each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and state's first motion to motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you have a chance to review those documents with your attorney, and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Aubrey Rashawn Reed who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 8538 for the offense of assault peace officer judge on January 15, 2021 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you the same Aubrey Rashawn Reed who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 8537A for the offense of aggravated robbery on January 15, 2021 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you proceeding on the same allegation in each motion?
No, Judge, they're written differently for some reason.
All right, then we'll proceed first with cause number 2020 CR 8538. State.
Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Aubrey Rashawn Reed did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed.
Surely she doesn't think it's about her.
Wait, just one moment. Mr. Reed, I'm going to have to mute you and unmute you. Are you able to mute and unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Could you mute yourself so that the court report can hear what the state is reading, and then unmute yourself to answer, okay?
Okay.
All right, state, could you reread, please?
Yes, Judge. Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Aubrey Rashawn Reed did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the weeks of February 2nd through the 5th, February 8th through the 12th, 2021, February 25th through the 29th, 2021, March 1st through the 5th, 2021, March 8th through the 12th, 2021, March 15th through the 19th, 2021, and March 22nd through the 26th, 2021, in violation of condition number 5.
All right. Just one moment before you answer, Mr. Reed. There's something I have to grab from the clerks. We have brand new clerks here today, so I'm without certain things. Just give me a moment. All right, we're back on the record. Mr. Reed, to that allegation, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the rest.
All right, any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection.
All right, Mr. Reed, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge. I still need to read the 8537A, or did you want to wait to do that?
Yes, we'll wait and do that one. So for
There-
this one, is there an agreement?
Yes, the agreement is we're asking you to deny the motion, alter and amend to order state ISF, followed by ISP, and probation is recommending that he stay in custody until he's transferred to residential. And sorry, state ISF, both tracks.
That is the agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Reed, are you requesting that I follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you understand that I can send you to 20 years in prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to go to prison for 20 years?
No, ma'am.
Then why are you not reporting? That's the easiest thing to do.
A lot. I really can't explain it.
All right, well, how old are you?
18.
All right, so reporting is easy to do. If you don't report, you could go to prison. So while you're on deferred adjudication on this case, I want you to start thinking, every decision that you make, you need to ask yourself, is this going to be a violation of my deferred adjudication? Is this something that can result in me going to prison for 20 years? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want to be an 18-year-old going to prison for 20 years, which based on this charge, who knows? Maybe they'll keep you there for 18. You never know. But you may end up not getting out of prison until you're in your 30s. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to follow your agreement. Deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include state ISF, both tracks, ISP, and you to remain in custody until you're transferred. Now we're proceeding in cause number 2020 CR 8537A. State.
Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Aubrey Rashawn Reed, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February and March 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the rest.
All right, just one moment. Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection.
All right, Mr. Reed, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. We're asking that you deny the motion, alter and amend to order state ISF, both tracks, followed by ISP and recommending that he stay in custody until he's transferred.
Okay, we can't understand. Last of you faded off.
I'll start over. So state ISF, we're asking you to deny state ISF both tracks, followed by ISP supervision. And then we're asking that he stay in custody until he's transferred to state ISF.
Defense, is that the agreement?
That is agreement, Your Honor.
Mr. Reed, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm back to the subject matter with you. Why are you not reporting?
I'm
I'm sorry?
not doing, just do my own thing.
Okay, that's silly talk. So why are you not reporting, knowing that you can go to prison for life? What is going on in your world? And unfold your arms. What is going on in your world?
A lot.
And what would that be? You're not telling me anything. I don't live with you. I don't know you. So I don't know what a lot you're going through, what that means.
Family stuff, like family problems.
And what are these family problems? Again, I'm not living with you, so I don't know.
I really not talk about it.
Well, would you really like to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
So what are these problems? Because let me just tell you something. I can send you to ISF. That's fine. I can do ISP. Guess what? When you come out, you're still going to have the same problems that you've had before. So what are the problems?
I really had no house to go to. Like, I was really on the streets most of the time.
All right. So why do you not have a house to go to?
I don't really get along with my family
Okay. So why are you not getting along with your family?
because the decisions I made.
And what decisions are you making? Inappropriate decisions?
Yes, ma'am.
So you really don't have a problem with your family. The problem is you. You're not behaving appropriately, so they don't want you living with them. And that is understandable. So my question to you then is, what changes are you planning on making so you don't go to prison for the rest of your natural life?
Just to go home, get a job, take care of my kids.
Let's say children, kids are billy goats. So how many children do you have?
2.
You're 18 years old, you have 2 children, and so far the only thing you're bringing to the table to help them is 2 felony cases, one where you could go to life. So you're just being fruitful and multiplying and not taking care of your children. How old are your children?
They're not born yet.
And are these by different people?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically you haven't done anything other than have children. Do you have a high school education?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I dropped out of school in 9th grade.
Why?
I chose the streets.
And why are you making choices
Can you
that
repeat
are
that?
just nonsense?
Hard-headed, running with the wrong crowd.
No, don't say running with the wrong crowd, because the children and the parents of those children would say that you're the wrong crowd. So here's the thing. It would be so great if they had a program where you go to prison, get a shock to your system. But honestly, based upon your behavior today and based upon your actions that continue, I think, and I hope you prove me wrong, but I think you're going to be right back here on another motion to revoke, and you're going to be begging me to not send you to prison. I don't even think it's clicking with you that you could be in prison for the rest of your natural life. I didn't have to follow any agreement that was reached by your attorney or the state. That's why I asked if you still wanted to plead true, knowing that you could be going to prison. Do you understand? Is that getting through the haze of your immaturity?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll follow your agreement. Deny alternate men, state ISF, both tracks, ISP, supervision, you to remain in custody till transfer. And I'm going to want full GPS upon release. And you should have the wherewithal to get any type of employment by any type of technology. And then if for some reason you're able to get employment or get your life together, I'll consider lifting the full GPS.
Judge, how long do you want the full GPS for when he gets out?
Until further notice.
Got it.
He won't, we can go off the record. He's not making correct choices. So I'm gonna have to do all I can to help him make correct choices. And I still don't understand why you think you can flow through the United States without getting an education and it's free. That's ridiculous. I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody who comes before me who has not obtained their high school diploma because they just want to not do right. There are people who come from foreign countries, don't speak the language, come in, get into high school and end up being first in class or valedictorian because people are lazy. You're being lazy. And all you're doing is running around, having children, soon to be children, that you're going to teach how to be lazy and no account. And therefore, to all the adults who are behaving appropriately, I'm sorry, you won't be able to retire because this generation that Mr. Reed is a part of is doing nothing but bringing more children into the world and not teaching them anything because they don't know anything because they won't go to school. So, Mr. Reed, you're going to remain in custody. And when you get out, I'm going to keep you on a short rope. You are going to be on full GPS, and that will not be removed until I say so.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you end up staying with your family, if they decide to take you in, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else. You're not an adult because you can't take care of yourself. You can't afford to take care of yourself because you have no job. You can't even take care of your children because you have no job. So you will follow their rules. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Probation officer will meet you there.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Butler, you can go to number 2 with your client. And then after that, you're excused.
Your Honor, Mr. Reed does have a misdemeanor from County Court 8. I just wanted you to be aware of that. So that he needs to take care of before he can be sent.
All right, thank you. All right, who are the parties on Santoya?
Judge Eloy Santoya and Doug Campbell. Okay. And it was David Martin who was helping us out.
Judge, before you begin the plea, I send you 2 chats.
All right. All right, they're in their breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
From this end, thank you.
No problem. Okay, what is happening with this case?
Judge, we've reached an agreement with the state.
Okay, let me find his file. Just give me a moment.
And if that helps the court, Judge, we're agreeing to have my client sent to state ISF.
All right, just give me a moment.
Okay.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 10846W State of Texas versus Eloy Santoya. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Doug Campbell for Mr. Santoya.
And are you Mr. Santoya?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense that we proceed by video?
Not from the state.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Santoya, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you the same Eloy Santoya Jr. who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 10846W for the offense of assault of a pregnant person on November 6, 2020 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
From the first amended motion, condition 1, on or about the 27th day of March 2021, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Eloy Santoya Jr. committed the offense of theft in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Right. State?
Waive the other allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Santoya, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court would find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is agreement, Judge, to deny the motion to enter adjudication of guilt, continue on deferred, but alter and amend for ISF, and also a no contact order with Walgreens. And we will dismiss the new theft case. And I can get you the address for the Walgreens.
Okay.
6017 Ingram Road.
And what case are you taking in consideration?
It is case number 658057.
Right, defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Santoya, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, before you committed this theft, did you realize you were on deferred adjudication and you could get up to 10 years in prison?
I realized it, yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm not a medical doctor, but that mask doesn't work if it's not pulled up over your nose. All right, here's the thing, Mr. Santoya. Don't commit any other offenses while you're on deferred adjudication out of this court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I don't plan to.
All right, so what was happening to you? Why are you committing a theft at Walgreens?
I made a stupid mistake, shouldn't have did it.
No.
Nothing was.
Time out. Your definition of a mistake is incorrect. Let me tell you what a mistake is. Brent, are you ready? Your fast fingers. It's raining outside. I know it's raining outside, so I bring my black umbrella. I'm sitting in the courtroom and somebody says, Stephanie, it's still raining outside. And I'm sitting next to somebody, that person also has a black umbrella. I grab the black umbrella, I go outside, and when I lift it up and open it, I realize, shucks, I grabbed the wrong umbrella. It's not mine. That's a mistake. Let me tell you what's not a mistake. I come to court, I sit down, somebody has an umbrella with them. A person tells me, Stephanie, it's raining outside. And I say in my mind, you know what? I didn't bring my umbrella. This person has an umbrella. Let me grab it. So I take their umbrella. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. A bad choice, but a choice nonetheless. It's not a mistake. So you stealing from Walgreens, that was not a mistake. That was a choice you made. So why are you making these immoral, stupid choices, knowing that you could go to prison for making such choices?
I made that choice because I thought I can get away with it.
How much? All right, now we're getting to the bottom of this. And now you know you can't get away with it.
No.
And what were you stealing from Walgreens?
Some hygiene.
All right, so here's the thing. How much was that hygiene? How much did it cost?
Under $100 probably.
Well, tell me what the hygiene was.
Like body wash, shavers.
Okay, so body wash. Which brand?
Dove.
Dove. All right, that's probably $329. I'll do prices right. And you said some shavers?
Yes, ma'am.
Which shaver was it?
Gillette.
Is that the one, does it come with the razor or is it motorized? What is it?
It was motorized.
All right, depending on that, it may be like $30, maybe $29.95. So $29.95, and then you have $3. So under $50, you're looking at going to prison for 10 years. So was it worth it?
No, it definitely wasn't.
This is what the court is going to do. Court will follow your agreement partially. I denied alternate amend conditions to include ISF, no contact with Walgreens at 6017 Ingham Road. Take in consideration 658057. And what is the theft course? Does anyone know the name of that? Is that ATSI or?
I don't have
The CATS course.
Yes. All right, we'll do CATS. I mean, I could give you that course in 2 seconds. Don't steal, don't take what doesn't belong to you, but obviously you need more. So I'm going to include CATS, and you're going to remain in custody until transfer. Mr. Santoya, don't come back here for ridiculousness. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation. Probation is going to go over conditions with you. Please be patient in that room because he has someone else in the room as well. So if you go to breakout room number 2, and Mr. Campbell, if you can go to 2, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and everyone, if you'll just give me 1 moment, please.
David, can you please check your chat? Can you hear me, David?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Thank you.
Just 1 moment. All right, and Christine, I'm going to see if I can take care of your matter right now.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. McDonald? I
Yes,
just
Judge.
talked to them. They may be able to take you up today. So if you'll just give us about 30 minutes. All right, Jocelyn Andrews, you're back?
I'm so sorry,
Yes.
Judge. May I check into the 227th and come back?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
All right, Ms.
Judge.
Ash- Yes.
Well, David and I are still conferring. Your Honor, can we get a new date? Well, I can put it in the chat. I've got a CPS at 11, so if David gives me an offer this morning, I'll ask to go back into the breakout room with my client to convey that offer. And then I can shoot you or Norma a message to let you know if he accepts or rejects and whether to set it for a plea or for a trial.
Okay, what's going on with this case?
My client has some defenses that the state has been trying to corroborate, and me too. And then, so the evidence is not as strong as the state would like it to be. And so we're negotiating.
All right, Norma. On Mr. Alexander, can you recall that for later this week?
On Friday?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on Friday.
Okay. Mr. Alexander, did you hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you on Friday at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. You're excused. Just wait there, Mr. Alexander, until someone comes to remove you. And Ms. Andrews, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, David, I'll be in touch.
Okay.
Is anyone else ready?
Ray Alleman,
Yes. What are we doing with your case, Mr. Alamon?
Judge, we're having a plea and we're leaving it up to the court to decide what to do with it. Just the conditions.
All right, well, have the paperwork. We'll proceed. The court doesn't have paperwork yet.
Oh, we just send it in. I know.
I don't have it.
Okay, well,
So it may still be with your client.
Meeting signed that, I mean.
All right, Mr. Brown, what is happening with Ms. Ramirez?
I'm just waiting on some paperwork, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, thank you. And did you send that to Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, I believe Mr. Morris did.
Yes, Judge, I messaged Ms. Ferguson the agreement.
Judge, I was waiting for the defendant's email address. I just chatted with the defendant asking for her email address because I didn't have that.
Okay, everyone, if your client is on bond, we need their email address.
What?
And Ms. Conley?
Your Honor, I'm still waiting to get in with Ms. Lugo.
Okay, Ms. Lugo, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there a Nicholas Chase here? All right, everyone, just give me a moment.
Hello?
Mr. Nichols, what time were you supposed to be here?
At 9 o'clock, but the link that I was sent had an invalid meeting ID. So I've been calling around trying to get the correct meeting ID. Thankfully, my PO was able to locate it. She had a number to call and sent it to me via text.
All right, just give us a moment.
I'm sorry?
Give us a moment.
Okay.
Hello, officer. Oh, you're muted. I'm sorry.
Sorry, we were having connectivity issues, so I had to switch him over to a different computer really quick. He was in the
Okay,
breakout
well,
room with his attorney.
all right, I'll send him to breakout room number 5. That's where his attorney is.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Piker.
Hello, Judge. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a Monday, but you know what? I'm treating it as though it's Friday, so it's great.
Well, then we should be doing something besides this.
So who do you have?
Joanne Doyle's son, Brandon.
Okay.
Don't tell her I said that.
Okay. We're live. So,
Oh,
yeah. Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
it is criminal trial division.
All right. I'll send you to breakout room number 4. Could someone from criminal trial division go to number 4, please? And David Martin, if I could see you in breakout room number 6, please. All right, everyone, just give me one moment, please. All right, Mr. Chase. You need to unmute.
Okay, sorry about that.
I hope you're not underneath somebody's car right now.
No, I'm not. I'm off to the side of our building.
Okay, because all changes are very important. People don't think it is, but you misscrew something and it's all over. Next thing you know, the engine goes.
Yes, I've let everyone know that I'll be disposed for a moment.
All right. Brenna, that's spoken from someone with experience. All right, the state say that they're in agreement to having you terminate early because you've completed everything.
That's wonderful.
Oh, you're welcome. Here's the thing though. Don't get in this situation again. You understand?
No, ma'am. I've been good this long. I plan to keep it up.
All right, and here's the other thing. Don't use this as an opportunity to celebrate for two reasons. One, people always do that and then they end up picking up another case, be it DWI or something of that nature. And number two, because there's still something going on called COVID and there needs to be 6 feet of distancing and face mask wearing. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I even got my second shot yesterday, and I've been sober since this started. I don't plan on breaking that now.
All right, good luck to you. If ever you think you're going to cross over, contact your sobriety coach or whomever it is, okay?
Okay, will do. Thank you so much.
All right, good luck to you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
All right, and next we're ready on Ms. Ramirez. Who are the attorneys on Ramirez?
Hunter Morship.
Matthew Brown for defense.
All righty. Brenda, you ready?
Ready.
Court is calling 2016 CR 8350, State of Texas versus Sarah Ashley Ramirez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Morris for the state.
For the defense?
Matthew Brown, Your Honor.
And are you Ms. Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None from the state.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Ramirez, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Sarah Ashley Ramirez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2016 CR 8350 for the offense of theft 20,000 to 100,000 on January 30th, 2017 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Date.
Yes, Judge. Violation of condition number 1. On or about the 6th day of January 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Sarah Ashley Ramirez, committed the offense of theft in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
The state would waive the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Ramirez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge. The state would ask this court to deny revocation, amend the conditions of probation to extend the term for 5 years and require monthly payments of a minimum of $200.
Is that the agreement, Mr. Brown?
I don't believe I heard state was going to take into consideration the underlying misdemeanor, I believe. I didn't hear
Yes.
that.
Part of the agreement is to take into consideration the County Court 15 theft.
And what is the cause number? Do we have that?
That's one moment. $653,471.
All right, is that the agreement, Mr. Brown?
It is, Your Honor. We had asked the court to, in order to help Ms. Ramirez pay the full amount every month, to waive the monthly probation fees.
I won't waive the monthly probation fees, but what I will do is that restitution is to be paid first. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is what the court will do. The court will deny the motion, follow your agreement, alter and amend conditions to extend her for 5 years. Restitution is to be paid at a rate of $200 per month. Take in consideration 653,471, and restitution is to be paid first. Is there anything else from either side?
Just to clarify, Judge, is that the monthly payment is a minimum. The state would encourage Ms. Ramirez to pay as much as possible because this is a very large amount of restitution.
All right, Ms. Ramirez?
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
know anything about the underlying case, but what I do know is that you're on deferred adjudication for a theft case. And the new number 1 was a theft case. So here's the thing. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. If you don't take what doesn't belong to you, the world will be fine. If you come back here, I will keep an open mind to everything, but it's not good to be on deferred adjudication for a theft case and pick up another theft case. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, are you going to be able to pay this $200 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
If you miss one of these $200 payments and you don't have a good reason or excuse for missing that, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The restitution you owe is $55,000. And that person or that entity wants their money back. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else, we'll close the record. And what I'm going to do, Ms. Ramirez, I'm going to send you to breakout room with probation. They're in breakout room number 2. Mr. Brown, you can go to breakout room number 2. And let me find.
Your Honor, before we go, I also have another matter. I just want to see if we could close it out. It was just a status on another person that got sent to drug court.
Yes, we will close that out. Just give me one moment.
Okay.
Ms. Ramirez, if you go to breakout room number 2, everyone give me a moment. I'm going to go to breakout room number 2 so I can let the probation officer know what the agreement is, and then I will be right back. To the clerk, if you'll go to breakout room number 5, please. And when you finish in 5, if you could have the defendant come back to the main room. And I do have the paperwork on Mr. Ventura that's just come to me.
Your Honor, this is Teresa. I'm back from my client. Could I get him with Alexandra so we can try to wrap this up?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. If you'll go to breakout room number 6, and Alexandra will meet you in 6.
Thank you.
And Mr. Loxam, they are swearing in your client.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, who are the parties on Tyke?
Andrew Loxon for defense.
Who's the prosecutor?
Oh, we had Marcus.
Court is calling 2019 CR 8036, State of Texas versus Thomas Tyke. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Andrew Loxon.
And are you Mr. Tyke? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes.
Are you Mr. Tyke?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
All right, Mr. Tyke, I'm going to need you to mute and unmute. Are you able to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
So any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Tyke, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'll show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
At the very bottom right there?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
There's a bunch of them. Sorry.
We're proceeding on counts 1 and 2, waiving counts 3 and 4.
No
Any
objection.
objection?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Tyke, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Certified that the.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tyke,
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
review that document with your attorney?
Yes, yes,
Did you
yes.
understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
State, I don't have a copy of the Acknowledgement of Discovery. Does anyone have that?
I'll email it to you right now.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. The clerk just brought it. Mr. Loxam, I'm showing you what's entitled Acknowledgement of Discovery. Have you reviewed all the discovery with your client and did you receive all the discovery from the state?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Next, Mr. Tyke, I'm showing you a document entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it with all the appropriate places? You need to unmute, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand in count 1, you're charged with forgery of commercial instrument or check? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And did you understand in count 2,
Okay.
you're charged with it appears to be unauthorized use. Is that correct, State?
I believe it should be a theft of a vehicle.
No, it's a motorcycle.
Yes.
All right. Did you understand in count 2, you're charged with theft of a motorcycle valued at $2,500 or more, but less than $30,000?
Yeah.
Did you understand?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Did you understand both of those cause numbers
Can I
or
get a
those
copy of all
counts?
this?
Just one second. Did you understand that both of those counts are state jail felonies? The range of punishment in each one of those counts is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea bargain agreement. If for any, Mr. Tyke, I'm going to need you to mute it until I ask you to answer, okay? Because if you don't, the court reporter can't hear. Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow that plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Mr. Tyke?
Yes, ma'am.
When I asked you a question and asked you if you understood, I need you to unmute and I need you to answer the question. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you understand the instructions and the warnings that I've just given you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Right here is what chair.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tyke, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Mr. Tyke, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, The state is proceeding on count 1 and 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility, $1,000 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. There's to be restitution to Tan Nguyen, Nguyen, Richard Heath, Deborah Daniels. No contact with Tan Nguyen, Richard Heath, or Deborah Daniels. Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Tyke, did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service, restitution, and CATs 1 and 2. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count 1 in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, the state offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No, Judge.
Off the record. Kevin, this is Mr. Tyke. It's 2019 CR 8036.
Okay.
We're back on the record. Mr. Tyke, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it at all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty of count 1 and guilty of count 2. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would just ask the court to file the plea bargain, Judge.
All right, Mr. Tyke, are you employed? Have you ever worked?
Yes, I'm employed.
What do you do?
I work construction.
Why did you take items that did not belong to you?
At that time, I was not employed, ma'am.
Well, that still doesn't answer the question. Why would you write a forged check to take a motorcycle?
Just a stupid mistake. And I should have never done because I knew,
All right,
I knew that man.
All right, how old are you?
55.
All right, then you know it wasn't a stupid mistake. It was maybe a stupid choice, but you didn't mistakenly take a check. You didn't mistakenly write that check for a motorcycle, knowing that that wasn't your check to write. Do you have any children?
Yes.
What are their ages?
At home, they're 13 and 16.
Do they live with you?
They live with me and my wife, yes, ma'am.
Divided by 200.
So what is your drug issue? Is it alcohol or is it other substances?
There'd be other substances.
And what would those substances be?
At that time, meth.
Well, you say at that time meth. You haven't been using meth while you're in custody. So when's the last time you used before you were taken into custody?
2019.
Are you able to Zoom? Are you able to use Zoom to report to probation?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to follow your agreement, assess punishment at 1 year in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 5 years, $1,000 fine that will be probated, restitution and no contact with Tan Nguyen, Richard Heath, Deborah Daniels, Cats 1 and 2, intensive outpatient treatment with probation, weekly Zoom reporting until further notice or in person. You're either to call the UA hotline or to receive a patch, parenting classes, random field visits 3 times per week, proof of employment within 15 days of release. There's to be no employment with minors or as a home health care provider or with vulnerable persons. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else that you need in order to be successful, Mr. Tyke?
No, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else that he would need?
No, Judge, I just want to clarify, you said field visits 3 times a week?
No, 3 times per month, random.
3 times a month, okay.
Yes.
And for how long?
Until further notice.
Okay. Would I be able to get the don't contact people in the chat?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'm going to send that to you now. And these are the same people that there'll be restitution that's due.
Got it.
All right. Mr. Tyke, I'm showing you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Tyke, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Probation will meet with you there and go over conditions with you.
And Judge, I send you a chat.
All right, Mr. Stryker,
Thank you,
who is
Judge.
your client?
Judge, Mr. Yancey should be still be in breakout room number 1. We're just going to sign paperwork. So I just was seeing if I can be.
All right, I'll send you
please put in
one.
breakout 1. Thank you, Judge.
And Mr., just one moment. All right, and Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on Matthew Brown's client, Mr. Pena, we
Yes, ma'am.
needed a update on his status of transfer.
Okay. Let me ask Kevin to see if he has any status on that.
Okay, so he's in breakout room number 2. And Mr. Brown, you can go to breakout room number 2 with them so we can see about the status.
Yes, Your Honor, I received notice dated April the 8th that
Okay.
he was accepted in the drug court.
Oh, wow. Well, if you go there, the only thing we need to do is have him officially transferred there.
Okay.
And so if you go to breakout room number 2 and just make sure that they know that he needs to be transferred there.
Yes, Your Honor, will do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who are the parties on Ventura?
Ray Aleman for the defense. Or Mr.
All right.
Ventura.
Let me have Mr. Ventura come out of breakout room number 9. He's still there.
And Marcus Sanders, I believe, is for the ADA.
Judge, were you going to send me to a breakout room?
Yes. I'm sending you to breakout room number 2, and it's on Mr. Pena.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everyone, just.
Okay, yeah. The judge just.
Ese pelo, Marcos.
What happened?
ADA.
What happened?
ADA didn't answer. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right, Mr. Ventura, if you can unmute for me, please.
Yes, ma'am. What do you want me to do now?
Never mind. Okay, just came on.
Marcus, were you on this? Ventura, who's the prosecutor?
Marcus.
I was on Teresa's case, Judge.
Okay, just give me a second.
There he is.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2642 State of Texas versus Vincent Ventura. If I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense.
Raimundo Aleman.
All right, and are you Vincent Ventura?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
None from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Ventura, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you
Yes.
electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Vincent Ventura who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 2642 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on October 19, 2020 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Condition number 2, on or about the 27th day of October 2020, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Vincent Ventura Jr. did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamines, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? Mr. Ventura, how do you plead to that? True or not true? And you need to unmute yourself.
Yes, true, ma'am.
On or about the 4th day of November 2020, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Vincent Ventura Jr. did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely opiates, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the rest.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ventura, did you understand by pleading true to a violation of conditions 2 and 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 2 and 2?
Yes.
Court will find violation of conditions 2 and 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Only partially, Judge. We're both asking that you deny the motion. The state and probation is asking that you.
Okay, I can't hear you. You went down like so many octones that I can't, or octaves. Octaves,
Okay.
yeah. I can't hear you.
Partial agreement, deny the motion. State is asking what probation is recommending, which is SATIF for 120 to 180 days, followed by aftercare.
All right, Mr. Alamar.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Mr. Ventura has a 3-month-old child, and he was supposed to be sent by CPS to an alternative lifetime recovery. Also, it's also inpatient, and he would like to go to that instead because it will help him help with his child. However, I believe the probation officer has reasons why he would prefer the SATF. We will leave it up to the court. We will leave it to the court's discretion as to which one the court wants to give.
All right, Mr. Ventura. Is there anything you wish to say to the court?
Yes.
All right, before you do that, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you some questions to help you out.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is your 3-month-old?
She's with the aunt.
All right.
With the mother's sister at the moment.
All right. So why haven't you asked for help to get into a program before we come here to you constantly using drugs?
They see that's the thing. I've been going through drug court with Basil Franks, and me and him had an agreement. Well, I just went to court on April 6th, I believe. And the agreement was for me to go to a lifetime recovery for 3 months, ma'am. And I agreed on it. But the thing is, I was like in the middle where I was confused because I remember the last time you had told me to follow CPS. That's part of my stipulations. And well, I was going to go to lifetime recovery, but I wasn't too sure if I was gonna go. And then I was over there. I was gonna catch a warrant. You know, I didn't know how that was gonna work out.
Okay, you're saying a lot of things and you're using verbs and nouns, but it's not making any sense. So you just told me a lot of things and there's no concrete thing that you are saying. So again, my question is, why didn't you go to lifetime recovery before now? Why are you before me for using drugs and you didn't go get help?
Why didn't I?
Yes. Why are you not in lifetime recovery right now?
Because okay, see, and yeah, I just had talked to him last week, and he said that I should have still have went because I didn't know if I would have got in trouble, man, with court because I just had got bonded out, and like I said, I didn't know.
You're in trouble with the court because you won't stop using drugs. So
Yes.
I have you were placed on deferred adjudication October 19th. Then October 27th, you're using meth, you're using opiates, you're not doing anything really since you've been on deferred adjudication except for use drugs. You
Yes,
haven't
and I
complied with
understand that.
CPS? Because I mean, are you doing your parenting classes with CPS?
Yes.
What have you done for them?
Yes, I was doing my parenting classes and I was doing my NAs, and I
Like
had stopped.
when is the last time was?
Well, like I said, I had stopped, man, because I was supposed to go like a month ago, 2 months ago. Like no, like I say, like a month ago, and I didn't go because I mean I stopped doing my parenting classes and my NAs because I thought I put it in my head. Well, I said, well, if I'm gonna go to rehab, I'm just gonna just start it up again over there. And I guess that was, I don't know, I guess that was the wrong choice to make. So
How old are you?
24, man.
Okay, so let me explain to you what's going on with your thought process. Your thought processes are not at the best, right? And the reason why it's not at the best is because you're focusing on when you're going to get your next drug. Like, when am I going to get to use my opiates? When am I going to get to use my meth? Your answer should not be to run away from your problems. And that's basically what you've done. You just threw your hands up. I'm not doing parenting because they're going to do this anyway. And I'm not going to do this because they probably will do this. And now you come before me and you basically haven't done anything except for throw your hands up.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I don't need help because I do want to go to lifetime. I do want to go to lifetime recovery because, like I said, look, ma'am, all the other times, ma'am, I wouldn't even be right here in front of you, ma'am. I would be running from court like all before, but since I had my little girl, ma'am, I love her, and I told myself I'm not gonna be running no more. I'm not. So I'm trying to do something new, and I do want to go to this rehab place for her.
So if you're tested today, what are the results going to be? And you need to be honest with me.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to be there.
All right. When's the last time you used? And be honest.
The day for yesterday, ma'am.
All right. And what did you use?
Ma'am.
Okay. So here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. You're a step away from having a charge of possession. You know what the difference between people who are addicted to drugs from them having a possession case and a use case? That's them using it, right? If you hadn't used it and the police came, you'd be charged with possession. So you got to start getting your life together. This is what the court is going to do. I'm going to deny the motion. I'm going to refer him to felony drug court. And also, if somebody can make sure and see if, I know civil family court, they have a drug court. They should have a drug program for him. I don't know if he'll be accepted in that or not. And then if he's not accepted in any of those programs, he needs to go to lifetime recovery. And Mr. Ventura, you need to stop using drugs. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I know it's hard, but here's the thing. If you don't stop using, you're going to look up and your rights to your daughter is going to be terminated. Because right now you are in no shape to be a father to a child. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And anytime you get ready to use, you need to call a sponsor. You need to go NA, AA. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, with that, we'll close the hearing. All right, Norma.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see if you can get the coordinator from felony drug court maybe to zoom in and talk to Mr. Ventura?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you let her know that he needs help right away?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ventura, we're going to keep you on the screen. Don't leave until I give you permission to leave. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brown, you have been patiently waiting. I appreciate the patience that you have in your pocket.
Yes, sure.
So, did you let them know about Mr. Pena's transfer?
I did. And so Norma actually ended up calling the drug court. And there was further information that he was accepted on the 8th of April to drug court. But at some point, April 16th, he had some appearance. They ended up taking him to Laurel Ridge.
Okay.
Not real sure where that leaves us at this point.
All right. What we'll do then is we will, since he's actually been accepted to drug court and he's actually in drug court, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yes.
Then they decided to place him at Laurel Ridge for some reason. And if they want to send him back to us, they will.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right. And you are excused. Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Alaman, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
They're gonna send him to Laurel Ridge? Oh.
Felony drug.
Judge, the coordinator is in a meeting right now. In a Zoom meeting. She'll be done in a little bit.
All right, Mr. Ventura, I'm going to need you to just wait patiently, okay? You're muted.
Yes, ma'am. Is it okay if I turn on my camera screen?
No, just give us a moment.
Okay.
Kevin?
Yes, Judge.
We're just waiting for felony drug court to come in with Mr. Ventura.
Okay.
And Mr. Ventura has been having some trouble with going to breakout rooms. Let me see. Mr. Ventura, do you see breakout room number 7 pop up for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you can go to 7, I'm going to send probation there.
Okay.
Kevin,
What do we need to do with him?
I'll tell you when we get there.
Okay.
And Kevin, can you respond to my email, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let me find Mr. Piker. Everyone, just give me a moment.
He's in the breakout room, Judge. Teresa, I don't see your client.
I don't know what happened to her. She was sitting there very quietly. She's afraid to move her mask. We're waiting for papers.
Norma sent them to you. Did you check your email?
No, I'll check my email. I have to go to the other machine.
Okay.
All right, let me, who is the party on Mr. Yancey?
This is Attorney Striker.
Yes, what is happening with Mr. Yancey?
He's going to plead true, Judge, and we have an agreement for 2 years TC.
No. I just need the paperwork to get to Ms. Ferguson so that I can sign it and we'll take up your case.
Yes, ma'am. It's done on our part.
Okay.
Judge, they're logging in from drug court.
All righty. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And then on Mr. Yancey, I'm sending the paperwork back.
Yes, ma'am.
And Norma, if you can get Christine back in here, because County Court 13 will do her plea this afternoon.
Okay, Christine McDonald, correct?
Yes. Hello. All right. Thank you so much for coming. I love felony drug court.
We love you too.
All right. I'm going to meet you, if I can meet you in breakout room number 1, please.
Hello? Hi. Ed Piker?
Just 1 second.
Thank you.
We're into a breakout room. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Brandon, can you hear me?
Ed, I just sent you and your client to room 2.
Oh, thank you.
While we're waiting for the judge, is the clerk in? Robert, can you hear me? Robert, can you hear me? This is Attorney Stryker.
It might be a different clerk today.
Okay. It just says Robert on the Zoom. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes, hi, this is Attorney Stryker. How are you doing today?
What should be done?
Yes, sir.
Are you on the
She's a pretty lady. She does a good job. She just wants to see herself. We wait. Well, she sees herself. I was there at 9 o'clock this morning.
That's Jim's at Fort San Pedro on Hildebrand, 1970.
All right, who are the parties on Yancey? You're muted, Mr. Stryker.
Yes, Judge, I'm here, Judge. Yes, ma'am.
All right, who is the prosecutor you're working with?
This being Judge.
Judge, with the family violence prosecutor, Judge.
It's Mr. the Family Violence.
There's David Riddell. Mr. I apologize, Mr. Family Violence Prosecutor.
All right, Mr. Yancey, we're going to take up your case. Court is calling 2018 CR 11818 W, State of Texas versus Christopher Douglas Yancey. If we're going to have parties announced for the record, please, for the state.
David Martin.
For the defense.
Kevin Stryker for the defense, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Yancey? I need you to unmute for me, sir.
Yes.
Are you Mr. Yancey?
Yes.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Yancey, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. And states motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did.
Are you the same Christopher Douglas Yancey who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 11818W for the offense of assault family second offense on November 14, 2018 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
True.
Is that you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is that you, Mr. Yancey?
Yes, ma'am.
State.
Condition 5 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Christopher Douglas Yancey did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person for the months of August, September, October, November, December 2019 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
I'm going to need you to speak up, Mr. Yancey. Nobody can hear you.
True.
State.
We'll waive the other allegations.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Yancey, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
I did.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
I do.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is an agreement, Judge, to grant the motion to adjudicate sentence to 2 years TDC.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Yancey, are you asking the court to follow that plea bargain agreement?
Yeah. I am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
I am.
Then the court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
No,
Judge, Mr. Yancey wanted me to confirm and have the clerk confirm that he has at least 120 days credit, I believe, through Bexar County.
All right. Well, Mr. Yancey, the clerk will look into that and we will give your attorney the number. Next, Mr. Yancey, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
I do.
And did you understand, because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Do you understand?
I do.
And did you understand, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
I do.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Mr. Yancey, you have decisions to make in your life. You can continue to pick up offenses. You're gonna wake up and find yourself spending the rest of your life in prison. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room with your attorney, and the court clerk will meet you there and let you know how much time you have.
Thank you.
So could the clerk
Thank you,
go to break, you're welcome. Clerk, if you could go to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Stryker, when you finish with your client, if you can have him come back to the main room.
Yes, Judge.
Is anyone else ready?
We are Judge Ed Piker or Mr. De Hoyos.
Yes, what is happening with Mr. De Hoyos?
It's an MTR. They're going to withdraw the motion. They're going to reform the judgment. He's going to, with the
Ed.
court's yeah?
Ed, we're not withdrawing. We're hearing the motion.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if you guys, if you'll put it in the chat box to Norma, she'll give me the paperwork and we'll proceed.
The paperwork should have all been taken care of already.
It
Judge.
is. It's there.
All right, to the clerks in the back, do you have any paperwork on Mr. De Hoyos? It's just coming into my system, just a second. It's Monday, so that means that computers are slow. But other than that, it's a great day.
How's your day going, miss?
Who's asking to know how my day is going?
Brandon, my client, Brandon.
Oh, my day is always, anytime you wake up, you're alive.
Yes, ma'am. Thank God
Great.
for another day.
It's a good day. All right, I have the documents, so I'm just waiting for the clerks to give that to me, and then we will take up your case.
Yes, ma'am.
And what are we doing with Miss Lugo? Has that been taken care of yet?
Your Honor, I don't see her. I was just looking for her. I don't see her on any of the breakout rooms, or she's in custody, but I don't know if maybe they brought her back for some reason.
All right, we'll find out where she is.
Okay. And to answer your question, yes, I think the paperwork has already been sent to Teresa, and we have half of an agreement.
Okay, awesome. All right, Mr. Ventura, can you unmute for me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you know where you need to go and what time?
Yes, ma'am. 2 o'clock.
All right, don't make any detours,
Mhm.
All right.
I thank you for giving me this opportunity, ma'am. I really am. I'm not gonna let you down.
All right, you're welcome. Don't
Yes,
let
ma'am.
your daughter down, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I won't.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Kevin, on
Yes.
Mr. Yancey,
Yancey. Okay.
he entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 5, and he was revoked and sentenced to 2 years in the prison. And everyone, just give me a moment. I'm going to see if they have your documents in the back, Mr. Piker.
Thank you, ma'am.
2 years, right?
2 years, yeah.
Okay.
For Kevin, for De Hoyos, it's going to be alternate amend for the IOP.
Okay.
Alexander, do you know if they'll do the tap from the jail or they'll release him and do it by an appointment?
I would assume in custody, that's typically how it's done.
I'll probably ask her on the record so my client hears it.
That's fine.
And I'm just like not used to you being, seeing your face. Usually you're on a landline.
I know. Actually, I had I almost had a divorce case earlier today. It got reset, but I actually have a jacket handy. You want to take a real look at something? I haven't had a sport coat on in over a year.
My gosh. Is the sport court like, wait a minute, why am I on somebody? I haven't been on anybody in a year.
He thought it was getting punished.
Brenda, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Court is calling 2020 CR 7006, State of Texas versus Brandon De Hoyos. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Alexander Williamson.
For the defense?
Ed Piker for Mr. Doyles.
And are you Mr. De Hoyos?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, ma'am.
Mr. De Hoyos, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brandon De Hoyos who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 7006 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams on November 20, 2020 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Defendant violated condition number 2 on or about the 26th day of February 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Brandon De Hoyos, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the supervision officer in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
It's true, ma'am.
The state will waive all remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection.
Mr. De Hoyos, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking for you to deny the state's motion and alter and amend the defendant's probation conditions to include intensive outpatient treatment with the TAP unit and a 35-day jail sanction.
All right, defense. Judge, after speaking with my client, I am asking you to follow that. He is motivated this to the rehab like that. And I think he has indicated to me that he is motivated. I do believe him that he's ready to do this. He says he feels better now than he has in a long time.
All right, is there anything you wish to say?
Excuse me?
Is there anything you wish to say?
No, I just want to just thank you for another chance that you're giving me.
Well, I mean, time out.
I'm
I
sorry.
haven't said I'm giving you another chance yet. So
no,
you want to explain to me why you're not doing the minimum? The minimum is
I was being
you're supposed to
lazy.
do drug testing
Yes, ma'am.
and you're supposed to report by Zoom. And that's the easiest thing because you're at your house, wherever you're at, reporting by Zoom, by the phone. So why haven't you been doing your drug testing and why haven't you been reporting?
I was being irresponsible and I just, my phone was disconnected, so I was having a hard time getting a hold of my mother's phone because she was always at work.
That was
Well, I
only,
know that when I tell people to report by Zoom, I tell them they can either report by Zoom or in person.
yes,
You didn't
ma'am.
either. So you're not reporting and you're not drug testing. Why are you not drug testing?
I couldn't find a ride, and I was also being lazy, and it was just because I was
Do
using.
you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
How long could I send you to prison?
You said 2 to 20 years?
Yeah. So
Yes,
do you want to
ma'am.
go to prison for 20 years?
No, ma'am. This is my first time being incarcerated, and it's a big eye opener. And while I was in here, I thank God that I got a lot closer to him, and I feel so much better. Like if you seen the picture that I came in, my hair was like this because I was a drug addict, and now I feel so much better now.
What drugs have you been using?
I just use cocaine.
So basically what you were doing then is you were not reporting, you were not taking drug tests because you say you were lazy, but laziness didn't stop you from using.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I'm not
unless
lying.
you're growing cocaine at your house, that would mean that you had to get up and go somewhere to get cocaine.
Yes, ma'am.
So how often were you using?
To be honest, I was using every day.
All right. So every day you were getting up to go get cocaine.
Yeah, I was doing whatever I could to get my fix.
All right. So here is my question. Where are you going to be living?
Same address, ma'am. Same address that I have on there with my mother, 5430 Sherry Drive.
Does your mom want you living with her?
Yes, ma'am. She already wants me home.
All right. So are you?
I
have
spoken with her, Judge, and she has been involved since he's been incarcerated, and she is wanting to get with him and help him as well.
Okay. So are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what?
Long company service.
But as of now, you're not making any money. You're making zero, right?
Yes, because I'm incarcerated. But as soon as I get out there, I've been in touch with my boss because he's been helping me out with money so I can eat in here. And he told me as soon as I get out that he'll have at least like 2 or 3 days of work for me a week.
So here's the thing. If you live under your mother's roof, your mother's rules apply. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to give you a curfew. She may not give you one, but I'm giving you one.
I already have one. I already had one, and I was abiding by the curfew you had gave me already.
Other than using drugs.
Yes, ma'am. That's the only thing I was. Yes.
Well, I'm going to cut down on your curfew because I gave you a curfew of 9 p.m. because I thought you could handle it. That's not going to happen anymore.
Okay.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to deny the motion, alternate amend conditions. See if felony drug court will accept him, Kevin. His curfew is now going to be 6 p.m. If he's not accepted into felony drug court, then intensive outpatient treatment with probation and the UA hotline. Is there anything else you need to be successful, Mr. De Hoyos?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and
That's all
all
I
other
need.
commissions will remain.
Okay. Judge, what's a UA hotline? I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, it's random, but they'll call him and say, we need a UA now.
Okay.
And Kevin, because he says he's working, he can do the UA hotline or either he can do the patch.
Okay. Are we
And
still doing
I'm-
the jail sanction?
I do not. Does he have 35 days in?
Yes, he does. According, at least Alexander checked. I'm going on information.
All right, 35 days, Bear County Jail. I'll show that that judgment is satisfied and he's to remain in custody for the evaluation for felony drug court. Mr. De Hoyos, felony drug court will be able to evaluate you this week.
Oh, this week? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
you're welcome. I think you need felony drug court.
Yes, I'll take whatever you think is best for me.
And Mr. Piker,
Yes.
if you can check back in with the court on Friday, but usually felony drug court will have seen him, if they get notice today, they will have seen him probably by Wednesday.
All right.
But if you can check in with the court on Friday to make sure that he's been evaluated. And then after you evaluate it, you'll be released.
Oh, okay. So if they see me Wednesday, I'll be released that day. They see me?
Well, you know, from the Bexar County Jail, it's
slow.
probably the next day at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
or 12.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay. I'm just asking.
Yes, but no, you'll be released after they evaluate you, and they'll let you know whether you're accepted.
Okay.
And if we get you evaluated this week, they'll probably be able to see you at the program on Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
All right.
everything.
You're welcome. I'm going to send you out to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
Everyone have a good day.
You too,
All
sir.
right. And Norma, can you have Mr. Johoyos come back on Friday just to make sure that he has been evaluated?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Teresa Conley. Oh, everyone, we're going to take our break.
Sorry, I had to go to the restroom.
No problem. I don't have the paperwork for your case.
I sent
And
it
we don't
back
have
to
Miss
Norma.
Luga on the screen.
We've been waiting since 9, Your Honor. I don't know what happened.
Yes, I don't know where she is. She's not on the screen.
She's at the jail.
Yes, she's at the Bexar County Jail, but she's not on the Zoom anywhere.
I don't know what to say. I don't see anybody from the jail up there. Did they close out or?
Just a moment. All right, Mr. Piker, you're excused. You're muted. Okay.
Norma? Am I finished? What's going on? Did I get excused too?
We're just waiting to see if they can find her. I think.
Okay.
And we typically go on our break around this time and then come back at 1:30, 2 o'clock. So
It's an all-day MTR when I was here at 9.
yeah, sorry.
Hmm.
They're trying to locate your client.
Judge, she told them she was done and she took off. They're gonna go get her.
Okay.
Do you want us to come back, Judge?
Has all the paperwork been done?
I think so. I sent what Norma has. I mean, I know you're exhausted. I know that. I'm not saying that, but I'll come back.
No,
at
here's the
1:30.
thing. I'm here 9 to 5, but I know the court reporter will need a break because she's doing a lot of work because she's taking down everything that everyone's saying. And being hunched over, as my mom keeps telling me, that's not good for us.
I know you don't need a break. I know you can go until forever. I understand that. All right. Some of us are old. Some of us get hungry. Some have to go to the bathroom. Whatever. I hope we're not on YouTube now. Oh,
yes, we are.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You can go forever. You're like one of those bunnies.
So if you want
to come back at 1:30 so I don't get thrown off the bar.
Yes, let's do that.
1:30. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Norma, we'll be back at everyone.